let's turn to another Republican, and that is Mr. Chris Christie, who's not been invited to CPAC, despite his overwhelming popularity in New Jersey. Is this really just because he appeared with the President of the United States after a major tragedy that occurred in his state? Was that was that the crime? Was that the sin?
No. I'm sure that had nothing to do with it, Martin. I think it was probably just, let me just tell you, in Washington speak, we would say there was a scheduling conflict. So I'm sure it was something of that nature. Now, look, I think Greta pointed this out last night, rightfully so. This is a very clear message, not just to Chris Christie, but to others who may be thinking about what I think CPAC would consider stepping out of line. I mean, remember, this wing of the Republican Party is feeling very emboldened this week. We had, a member of Congress yesterday saying that, when we get to sequester, that is going to be a huge coup for the Tea Party. So this is a very clear message about what it means to keep in line.
I think Karen's right, Martin, that obviously CPAC is trying to draw a line here. The problem for CPAC is they're always losing, okay? They didn't like John McCain. They didn't like Mitt Romney. CPAC doesn't even pick the GOP nominee. And as the whole party does move to the right, and it is a real problem, Chris Christie having CPAC against him as a Republican potential presidential aspirant is a good thing. The other thing Chris Christie did on policy, and I'll be the first to praise him, not on appearing with Obama, but on working with some of Obama's policies, is he, according to sources in New Jersey, is going to come out in his big state address today and welcome and apply and use some of the Obamacare money to help the uninsured. Now, what do I think? I think that is good policy, and I applaud him for it. I also think, maybe unfortunately, it makes him politically stronger in Jersey, but so what? He's at least doing the right thing. And so he's appeared in the photo ops, but as you said, moving beyond that, he's also embracing aspects, mainstream, centrist, helpful, progressive aspects of the Obama agenda, and I think that's a good thing, and CPAC doesn't control everything. And
Angela, at one point I thought that CPAC might actually, eventually stoop and invite him because they maybe heard some of the criticism, but having heard what Ari's just said about Mr. Christie welcoming aspects of the Affordable Care Act, he literally is never going to be invited by CPAC, is he?
I think that's exactly right. When you look at the fact that today he's saying that he's going to allow the Medicare expansion, the fact that he's in a blue state with the 78% approval rating, there's no question that he was going to be invited. And I really bet you a good strong dollar, Martin, that he's not surprised he wasn't invited either.
Okay, Karen, let me play you what conservatives were saying about Governor Chris Christie in 2011. And again, last year, just after the Republican convention. Take a listen.
If we don't run Chris Christie, Romney will be the nominee and we'll lose.
He didn't go after Barack Obama, which I found extraordinarily refreshing.
What happened, Karen? To coin the words of the wonderful Roberta Flack, where is the love for this man?
Well, I think it's partially, as Ari pointed out, Chris Christie, I think, is, kind of forging his own path. He is doing what I actually think what he believes is right for the people of his state. But here's the challenge, and we've seen it time and time again. I would just remind Ari that the argument against Mitt Romney and John McCain when it comes to the CPAC crowd is they were not true conservatives. And this is the real fundamental struggle within the Republican Party, right? Some are saying we've got to move farther to the right and have a true conservative. Others are saying, maybe not. Let's look at the demographic changes. Let's, loosen it up a little bit on immigration reform. Let's change those talking points around a little bit and see if we can broaden our base. And that is the fundamental struggle within the party. I think Chris Christie is, emblematic of, those forces at play.
It must be completely ludicrous for Mitt Romney to be invited and considered worthy for CPAC and Chris Christie not.
Right, and I think that goes to what they are, and they don't claim to be much else. They are a highly political organization. Romney coming, they see as him sort of validating them, and obviously it'll be a big news event when Romney returns. But look, this is their mistake not having Christie in here. He is a huge star. He's on the late night shows. He's got Democrats in his corner. He's the Republican strongest crossover player. And so I guess I disagree slightly with Karen. It's true that there's that debate going on. My point is that's a debate they often lose, and Chris Christie is really going to be the Democrats' biggest nightmare if he continues to find ways to reach out and, as I said, to work with Obama not only on photo ops, but on health care, on getting people covered, things that we have to care about that are bigger than politics.
I'm afraid I can't.
If he runs for president, though, Ari, he will still have to get through a Republican primary. Don't forget.
Okay, Karen Finney always lays the last blow. Karen Finney, Angela Rye, and Ari Melba, thank you both, all of you, sorry. Next.